Hi. After a long time, I'm posting a UGC Part A video with the July 2025 question paper, Physical Sciences. The Part A is common for physical sciences, chemical sciences, and mathematical sciences, is what I believe is the situation. I did not know this earlier. Anyone from the life sciences watching this video, if you want me to do part A of life sciences, please let me know in the comments section whenever you watch this video. All right, moving on. Let's solve the first question. Yeah. So once again, this is a July 2025 paper, Physical Sciences, Physics. So, right. I'll try and do 10 questions, but I believe that there are 3 topics like 3 circle Venn diagrams, cyclicity, and now this one. It's it's called logic. Okay. So let me see if I can solve this for you. Statement 1, all booklets are manuals. Statement 2, all manuals are booklets. So we'll write it down as statement 1, B implies M. Statement 2, M implies C, right? So does B imply C? Yes. Okay. So this means B implies C. All right. That is booklets implies catalogs, but not the other way around. But not the other way around. So well, it is logic, but why it's not the other way around? That is, catalogs. Why two is not the answer? Well, there is something that I've learned in logic. That is, if A, yeah, implies B. Let's say that's your statement. If A implies B, then not B implies not A. These two are true, meaning they are the same statements. If A implies B, then not B implies not A. And the other one is that if this is given to you, if A implies B, yeah, and we have B implies A, then we have not A implies not B, right? And they're called, this is called the contrapositive, yeah, but you don't need to know all these words. This is called, there's inverse and converse. So if A implies B is the statement, so this is the statement. Let's call it the statement, right? Then its contrapositive is not B implies not A. B implies A. So you remember the statement, the sentence that we say that it's true conversely also. So that is the converse part. And this part is called the inverse part. So converse and inverse are true. And the original statement and contrapositive are true. And out here, A could be, A could be if it rains, then I sit home. Then I sit home. Or then I am at home. Then I am at home. Right? So if it rains, then I'm at home. Right? So let's just say that was your statement 1. So this is your A part, rains, then B. A implies B. If it's raining, then I'm at home. Right? So let's just call this like the if statement, right? Let's just call it not even the first part. Let's just call it the if statement. If A happens, that if A rains, then I'm at home. Then B. So if I'm not at home, so that is if I'm not at home, then it is not raining. Contrapositive. These two statements are true. And then look at the converse part, right? Converse is if I'm at home, if at home, then it rains. Then it rains. Is that the same thing as if it rains, then I'm at home? No, that's what they are trying to say in the, not in this two statements out here, but generally the logic statements go in this manner. So if at home, then it rains. So if not raining, if not raining, so that curvy thing means not, then not home, not home. So that's what this means. And these two statements are true. Converse and inverse are true. See, I could be wrong, but this is something related with this statement, but I'm not able to connect it. But all I can say is that if booklets are manuals and manuals are catalogs, then booklets are catalogs. But catalogs are not booklets. Also, I remember doing this in my B.Ed central admissions test. There was a book that I went through, and there were statements of these kinds like all dogs are cats, all cats are mouse, and things like that. But it wasn't true the other way around. So anyway, the answer is C. Okay, that is 3. Right. Question 2. Now, so I need to discuss 3-circle Venn diagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into detail because I want to complete this uh, test paper within 2 videos. Yeah. I'll do a separate complete video on 3-circle Venn diagrams, a complete video on cyclicity. So right now, whatever you can follow, you follow. Okay. Now this region out here is exactly 2. Similarly, this region out here is exactly 2, and this region out here is exactly 2. All right. So you might wonder, what is this region in yellow? This whole thing in yellow. That's football and cricket, or in other words, A and B. All right. But it's not only A and B. So this is the thing. If I say only A and B, or only football and cricket, something like that, it means exactly 2. Got it? Yeah. If I say A and B, then it includes exactly 2 also, includes all 3 also. So it includes exactly 2 and all 3. So I'll do a detailed video on 3 circles. So right now the question is the percentage of players, yeah, who play exactly 2 sports. So we know that the exactly 2 sports is 11, 7, and 8, which is 26. Yeah. Is closest to what percentage? So to know the percentage, we need to know how many people are there altogether in all these circles. So we start counting. So we start counting. Yeah. So we start counting all these numbers individually. So what we have is 20, 31, 35, 43. 43 out here. And then 18 and 7, 25. And then finally 24. So we know it is 26 upon 43 plus 49. So that's 26 upon 80, 92. And then which of the following is closest as a percentage, right? Is closest to which of these following percentage? So 26 upon 92 into 100 will give me my percentage, right? So I'll just divide both of these by 2. 2 13s are, 2 46 are. And then out here, 2 23s are, and 2 50s are. Okay, right? And then I've got 13 for the 650, and I've got 23. And then I can do my division. So 23 goes into 65 2 times, right? 2 times 46. So 14 and 5, 19. So 190 I've got here. So we know it is going to be not 23 tenza, but I know it'll be, if it's tenza is 230, if I subtract 23, then it gives me an answer for 23 nines, correct? And if I subtract 23 again, it gives me an answer for 23 eights, and I've got 190 out here. And it's 184. So I know it's 23 eights. So I know it's close to 28%. And therefore 3 is my answer. Got it? And therefore 3 is my answer. So this question, the answer is C. 328. Okay. Question 3. Value of a company is measured as the total value of its shares owned by different investors. Rakesh owns 2/15 of the shares of a company. He sells 1/3 of his shares. So 1/3 of 2/15 he sells. For how much? For 75,000. So 1/3 of 2/15 he sells. So this is the fraction he sells for 75,000. So what is the total value of the company? So total value of the company is 1. All right. From 1 whole to 15th. So 1 whole is how much? So 1 into 75,000 divide by this 2 and then into 45 out here. Right. So 2 goes into 75,000 how many times? So we cancel, right? 37,500, right? Because 37 twos are 74. And then we just multiply 375 into 45 and we'll get our answer. 375 into 100. And so I'm just going to multiply 45 and 375, right? Okay. So we can do the math out here. 375 into 45. Hang on. So we have 5 5 are 25, 5 7 are 35, 37, 5 3 are 15 and 18, 0, 4 5 are 20, 4 7 are 28, 30, 4 3 are 12, 15. So you got 5, 7, 8, 6, 1, and then 2 zeros. So B is the answer. Okay. All right. Horrible way of putting the questions. Okay. Right. A car has wheels of diameter 36 centimeter. If it runs at speed of 60 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers, 60 minutes, correct? Then rotations per minute. So that means it's 1 kilometer, 1 minute, okay? 1 kilometer per minute. 60 kilometers per hour. So 60 kilometers, 60 minutes, which reduces to 1 kilometer per minute, okay? And then we have to find out how many rotations. So this wheel of diameter 36, it has a circumference of 36 pi centimeter. Okay. So that is 36 pi by 100 meter, which is 36 pi by 100 and then divide by 1000 kilometer. So you can say this is the circumference of that wheel. And this is the speed, that is 1 kilometer per minute. Correct. And we have to find out the number of rotations. So we can easily find out that how many rotations the wheel completes in 1 kilometer, right? So we know that one rotation is 36 pi by 10 to the power 5 kilometers. One rotation, right? Circumference basically. So then how many rotations in 1 kilometer, right? How many rotations in 1 kilometer? And once we come to know that, then we got our answer, because that many rotations per minute, rotations per minute. So 1 into 1 by 36 pi, and then 10 to the power 5 goes on top. So the calculation part, we'll do it out here. Okay. So that is 10 to the power 5, which is 1 lakh, upon 36, and then 22 by 7. So we'll divide this. 2 goes into 1,50,000 times. 2 goes in 36, 18 times. 2 goes into 50,000, 25,000 times. 2 goes into 18, 9 times. 2 goes into 25,000, 12,500 times. 2 goes into 22, 11 times. So what we have is 12,500 into 7 upon 9 into 11. So now we know that 1 by 9 is 0.11111, right? So therefore this 7 by 9 will be 0.777, right? So we know it is 0.777 bar, which is equal to 7 by 9. So now we just reduce 12,500, we'll divide it by 11, right? So 11 ones are 11, carry forward 1, 5, sorry. 11 ones are 11 again, yeah. And we got 40, okay, right? We got 40. 11 threes are, so obviously this is the numbers that we're getting. 11 threes are 33, and we got 70. 11 six are 66. Got 40, yeah. So 11 threes are again. So we'll just put a point and 3, yeah. So then finally we have 1136.3 into 0.777. 0.77 bar, right? So that 0.77 bar, either we take it as 3/4 or we take it as 4 by 5, whatever you want, right? So we'll take it as it's closer to 75, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah, so we'll take it as 3/4 into 1136.3, yeah. So this is 4 goes into this 2 times, and then 4 eights are 32, and then 4 fours are 16. And we'll ignore the 0.3. And now 3 into 284. 284 times 3, 3 fours are 12, 3 eights are 24, 25, 3 to the 6, 852 is what I'm getting, right? So some error I've made because I got the answer which is 889, right? So anyway, the answer is A, okay, and it is 852 is coming closest to the 852. So A is the answer. Let's try it another way, yeah. The calculation part I've messed it up. So let's try another way, okay? Okay. So let's see if we can figure this out. So we know it's gonna be 1 lakh upon 36 and pi 22 and 7, okay? 7 by 20, 22 by 7, okay? So then 2 goes into this 50,000, 18, 25,000, 9, 12,500, and 11, okay? Right, so 12,500 divide by 11. So 11 ones are 11, 15, 11 ones are 11, 40, 11 threes are 33, 70. I think I made a mistake out here. 11 6 are 66, 40, 11 3 are no, it is 136.3. Yeah, into 1 by 9. 1 by 9 is 0.111, right? So that 0.111 times 7 is 0.777. Okay. So I'll just multiply this by 7 and not multiply it by 0.777. So then let's reduce this further. So 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9, 23, 3 7s are 21, 26, and 26 is as good as 3 7s are, 3 9s are 27. So I'm taking 379 into 7 by 3, and then I've got okay, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, and I'll take it as 3 6 are 18. And then I've got 126 into 7, 7 6 are 42, 7 to the 14 and 18, 7 to the 7 and 8 82. So yeah, I tried the other way around. So probably some calculation error. So it's coming closest to A. So that's much better. Okay, anyway, that's the question 5. A cylindrical container of radius 20 centimeters was filled with water up to a height of 25 centimeters. Yeah. So there's water up to the height of 25 centimeters. Yeah. And the radius is 20 centimeter. Okay. What would be the approximate increase in water level in the container after the ball was fully immersed? So the ball is a solid spherical ball of radius 7. So remember, if a ball is completely immersed, then it is no longer this portion, this volume of solid inside the water, yeah, is no longer water, it is solid. That means that much of water has come out, right? Has come out in the sense has got displaced. So we can say that this displaced water is spread evenly in the cylinder. And when it's spread evenly in the cylinder, obviously it will increase by a fraction of a height, not a huge amount. So then what we do is this volume of the sphere 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is 7 cube, yeah, is equal to uh, this cylindrical volume pi r square, because you know whatever water is displaced, and I will draw a very thin layer, it will also look like this cylinder out here like that. You know what I mean? Or let me draw a better diagram. So it will look something like this, a very thin layer. It increases by a very thin layer. So this entire round shaped structure is now, kind of like, we use a, what do you call that, rolling pin. The rolling pin is used for making rotis. So imagine this is a big, ball of wheat that we make chapatis with. So we net it and we kind of rolling pin and we kind of spread it even. So imagine something like that is happening. So the water is getting evenly spread out in that cylinder with the volume pi r square h, where h is what they're asking for. What is the increase in the height in the water level? So the cylinder is of the radius 20. So this whole thing, 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is 49 into 7, is equal to pi into 20 square into height, and height is what we need to find out. So pi and pi goes, correct? And then we can round off 49 as 50. Yeah. Okay. We can round off 49 as 50. So 4 by 3 into 50 into 7 by 400. So 50 goes into 408 times. So we finally got 4 by 3 and 7 by 8. Correct. So 4 and this 8 goes twice. So we finally got 7 by 3, 7 by 6. And 7 by 6 is 6 ones are 6, 1 by 6. That's 1.16. So 1.16 closest to A. So therefore, question number 5, the answer is A. Okay. Yeah. And 6. Now, typically these data questions are the easiest of the lot. All you need to do is good with your calculation. So what I've seen in this particular paper compared to the 24 December paper, that the part A questions are more uh, calculative. Okay. And this is the first time I'm seeing that they've introduced cyclicity. Yeah. And three circle when questions. Otherwise, I've never seen three circle or cyclicity in logic part A. Okay. So now here's the question. It says the market share, that is this part, yeah, and annual production of scooters from five automobile companies, PQRST, are shown in the graph. Now they're saying if the profit of company is directly proportional to the ratio of the market share. So suppose if I take P, it will be 17%. I'm ignoring the percent to the production. So P's production is given out here, which is 80. So I'm ignoring the 1,000 also. Okay. Yeah. So the profit, yeah, profit of these five companies is proportional to the ratio of the market share to the production. That's what is given out here. Then which of the following statements are correct? So the statements are company T and P have the same profit, R has the maximum and S has the minimum. So we just first of all write down the data and not try and guess anything, because the questions are calculative. So obviously something is based on calculation. So we're not going to guess anything out here. We're just going to write it down. All right. So it's all about profit, profit, profit. So basically we need to find out the ratio of market share to the production. So Q is 25% upon, out here it is 120,000. So we are ignoring 1,000 and percent for all of them. Therefore, we don't have to worry about unnecessary writing extra percent and 1,000 and all. Right. R is 24% upon 110,000. And then S is 14%. So I'm not writing percent upon S is 80,000. And T is 20% upon T is 100,000. Now if you see 17 Forza is 68. 17 FISA is 85. So between 1/4 and 1/5, we have P. This is 25 Forza is 100 and 25 FISA is 125. So again 1/4 and 1/5, meaning 20% and 20% and 25%, 20% and 25%. Okay. R is 24 by 110. So 24 FISA is 120, 24 Forza is 96. So 1/4 and 1/5. This is I'll write it down out here. 14 FISA is 170, correct? And 14 6a is 84, right? 14 FISA is 70, sorry, not 170. 14 FISA is 70 and 14 6a is 84. So this is between 1/5 and 1/6. And this is exactly 20%. Yeah, 1/5. Yeah. So they're saying T and P have the same profit. T is 20% or 1/5, you could say. And this is between 1/5 and 1/4. 1/4 and 1/5. Between 1/5 and 1/4. So they cannot have the same profit. Statement X is out. Yeah. Company R has a maximum profit. So for the maximum profit, we'll have to work out these three because these three are between 1/4 and 1/5. Okay. Yeah. So we need to find out exact numbers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use some space. Yeah. And work out P, Q, and R. P, Q, R. So P is 17 by 80. So I'm going to just keep reducing it 2 into 8.5, 2 upon 40, 2 upon 4.25, 2 upon 20, 2 upon 2.125, 2 upon 10. So 2.125 upon 10 is 0.2125. That is P. Q is 25 by 120. So 5 5s are 524s are. So we go 5 by 24, right? So 5 by 24. Okay. So maybe I can see I'm trying to get a 10 below. So this I can reduce it as 5 into 5 upon 12 into 10. Correct? Yeah. Okay. So at least I got a 10 separator. So now all I have to do is 25 by 12. Correct? 25 by 12. So 12 twos are 24. I got 10. Yeah. So I put a point, put a 0, 0, and then I got 12 eights are 96. And then I don't care after that. Okay, this is 2.08 something. 2.08 something by 10 is 0.20. So Q is out because this is greater. Then we use R, 24 by 110. So I'll reduce it as 6 into 4 upon 11 into 10. So I at least got a 10 now. So all I need to do is 24 and 11. So I'll work out 11 and 24. 11 twos are 22, right? 20.11 ones are 11, 90, 11 eights are 88. So I got 2.18 upon 10. So that is 0.218. And this is 0.212. So 8 is greater. So P is gone, R is. So R has a maximum profit. So Y is correct. And clearly you can make out this is the only one between 1/5 and 1/6. Rest all of them are 1/5 and 1/4. So S has a minimum profit. So therefore R and S, that's my answer. R and S. Okay. So Y and Z. Statement Y and Z. C is the answer. Got it, guys? C is the answer. 6. 6 we did. 6 we did. 7. 5 we did. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Rahul and his father started jogging on a circular track. So this is my circular track. Yeah. Now R is greater than 2. Okay. That's the radius. Now Rahul completed one round and stopped. His father got tired halfway into the first round and returned to his starting point along a straight line. What is the ratio of the distances covered by Rahul and his father? So Rahul covered exactly 2 pi r, one entire circle. So the radius is 2 pi r. Okay. No, there's no number given. So 2 pi r. So that is his distance of Rahul. And father covered halfway through. So half of 2 pi r plus he walked straight line. So suppose his father started from here. He went half the circle and he come back to the starting point. So he covered the diameter, right? So plus 2r, correct? So this is the distance of dad. Distance of dad, correct? His father. So therefore the ratio of this to this part. So this is what we need to get. So then we can simplify this further. 2 pi r upon pi r plus 2r, which is 2 pi r upon r common pi plus 2. So r and r goes. So it's 2 pi upon pi plus 2. B is the answer. Got it? 7. Oh, we did 7. 8. Okay. So this is interesting. Kavita starts, so let's say this is Kavita's house, and she starts northward. So this is northward, 200 meter, okay, and then turns 45 degrees. So this is north, 90-degree angle and 45 degrees, yeah, and goes 70 meters. So this is 70 meters. So let me, let me use a separate space. This is better. It's a different color. So this is her house, and she goes 200 meters north. And then from here, if this is 90 degrees, then she goes 45 degrees. So again, a 45 degrees, 70 meters she goes, okay? After that, she turns 90 degrees right. So from here, she takes 90 degrees right. So again, imagine this is straight and 90 degrees right and goes 70 meters. So which of the following is closest to the value of the shortest distance between Kavita's current location and house? So current location and house. So the blue part, this blue color line is what we need to find out, or the green color. Let's use green color. This green color line is what we need to find out. What is this distance? Straight distance, shortest distance. So what we do out here is, um, um first of all, this is a house, okay? So if we use this like that, a triangle, correct? Yeah, yeah, okay. See, can you see this is a 70-meter out here, because it seems that it is more like a rhombus that is being formed, right? If I look at this black color thing, this is more like 70 meter, 70 meter, 70 meter thing, correct? Yeah. This is the yellow portion that she traveled. He traveled 45-degree angle, right? And then turns right like this at 90 degrees. And then turns 45 degrees and walks. After that, she turns 90 degrees. So from here, my bad. So my drawing is wrong. Okay, let me correct it. Okay. So till here she goes and then turns 90 degrees. So turning 90 degrees is this, like this. It should form a 90-degree angle out here, correct? That is 70 meters. Make sense? And then from this point, I'll draw in green. What is the straight line distance? This is the distance that they're asking. Okay. So then in that case, I can say that if this is 90 degrees and this is 45 degrees, then this is also 45 degrees. And therefore, this is a right isosceles triangle of length 70 root 2, because it is x root 2x. So 70 root 2. I know this is 200 meters and this is also 90 degree. So it's a right triangle with 200 square plus 70 root 2, the whole thing squared. And it's a Pythagoras theorem. So this is equal to the distance in green, the straight line distance that we're looking for. So then under root the whole thing, we have 4 into 10 to the power 4 plus 70 into 2, 70 square into 2. And square root. Square root can also be written as to the power half, the whole thing to the power half. So then we have 4 into 10 to the power 4 plus 49 into 10 square into 2. So that's 40,000 plus 49 to the 98 and then two zeros. So 40,000 plus 9,800 is 49,800 and to the power half. This whole thing to the power half. This whole thing to the power half. Remember, it's equal to D, equal to D. That's equal to D. So what is this answer? All right, so we break it down further. 498 into 100 to the power half to the power half. So 100 to the power half is 10, correct? And this is 498. So root of 20 square is 400. 21 square is 441, correct? And 484 is 22 square. And then 23 square is 576, 521 or something, correct? So this is between 22 and 23, correct? So if I break it down to 22 something, yeah, correct. And then into 10, so 220. So the closest answer is therefore 4, 223. So even if I take it 23 to 30, it will be closer to 220. Correct? 220 or 230, both are closer to 223. Okay. Anyway, so that's how you work it out. Okay. Question 9. So two more questions and I'll stop this video because it'll go on for hours otherwise. The initial monthly salaries of John, Ria, and Sunil were in the proportion 4 is to 3 is to 5. After an increase of rupees 10,000 monthly to all, the new proportions become 6 is to 5 is to 7. So if you add up all these parts, you get what? 12 parts. You add up all these parts, what do you get? 18 parts. And 18 parts includes the extra 10,000 of each of them. So 12 parts plus 30,000 is equal to 18 parts. So you can say that extra 6 parts is equal to 30,000, 10,000 for each of them, right? Therefore, one part is equal to 5,000. And one part is equal to 5,000. Therefore, what was the initial salary of Sunil? Sunil is 5 parts, so 5 5 are 25,000. B is the answer. No need to use 4x, 3x, 5x, and all that rubbish. Just do it in parts. Last question for this video, question 1 to 10. Here. Rose, lotus, and marigold plants are in a garden in the proportion 8 is to 5 is to 7. Okay, so number of roses, lotus, and marigold RLM plants in a garden are in the proportion 8 is to 5 is to 7. And later 75%, 40%, 50% more plants of the respective categories were added respectively. They have to use the word respectively out here. Okay. Because this respective categories just says 75%. So I think they need to use the word respectively. So later 75%, 40%, and 50% more plants of their respective categories were added respectively, meaning we can know that 75% is for rose, 40% for lotus, etc. But it doesn't matter. So now if something more is there, 75% more is there, like for example, GST, right? So if you had food of 50 rupees, and if you add 18% of 50 as GST, 9% CGST, 9%. So 18% of 50 is added, right? This entire thing is equal to 1.18 times 50. Okay, because this food itself is 100%. So 100% and 118%. 118% is 1.18 into 50. So similarly, if something is increasing, like the GST is adding, it's increasing the original value of 50. So like that, this 75%, yeah, of 8 plus 8 is as good as 1.75 times 8. Okay. Similarly, 1.4 times 5. And similarly, 1.5 times 7. What will be the new proportion of plants in the same order? So now obviously we can get rid of the decimals, because so how do we get rid of the decimals? 1.75 we multiply by 100. So 175 times 8. Okay, that's for R. L is 1.4 times 100, so 140 times 5. And then M is 1.5 times 7, so 150 times 7. So now each of them are multiples of 5. So I'm going to divide by 5. So 5 threes are 15, 25, 35 times 8. 5 twos are 10, 5 eights are 40, 28 times 5. 5 threes are 15, 0, 30, 30 times 7. All of them are multiples of 5 again. So 5 sevens are 35 and 8. This 28 remains itself and 1 comes here. 5 6 are 30 and 7. All of them are multiples of 7, so I'll get rid of 7. Divide by 7, I get 8. Divide by 7, I get 4. Divide by 7, I get 6. And then for other, again, I divide by 2. So 2 fours are, 2 twos are, 2 threes are. So 4, 2, 3, B is my answer. That's it, guys. I'll continue with the next video, 11 to 20. Yeah, with questions 11 to 20. Thank you.